Hello everyone and welcome to Procurement in the Park. I'm Christian Schuh and today I want to talk about a topic on the lips of millions of people around the world, ChatGPT. This chatbot, the product of the startup OpenAI, is the latest incarnation of something called generative artificial intelligence, where computers create original content in response to prompts from the user. But it's easily the most successful generative AI product so far. Indeed, UBS, the Swiss bank, called it the fastest growing consumer application in history because within 2 months of its launch last November, it had attracted an extraordinary 100 million users. That's faster than TikTok, which took 9 months to reach the same number of users, and faster than Instagram, which took 2.5 years. For most of these people, ChatGPT was a recreational tool. They had fun asking the chatbot to, for example, write movie scripts, suggest menus, answer trivia questions, and compose sonnets in the style of William Shakespeare. But some users saw ChatGPT's huge business potential. Among the first was Microsoft, one of the big investors in OpenAI. Quick off the mark, it has already incorporated ChatGPT into Bing, its search engine.
Again, I cannot stop repeating this. Nadella looked me in the eye and said, "We're going to make Google dance, and I want people to know who made them dance."
This move has prompted some to predict that Bing could one day challenge Google for dominance in the lucrative internet search business. In a recent leading article, The Economist asked, "Will AI chatbots eat Google's lunch?" This may be far-fetched. Google is fighting back with its own chatbot called Bard. So it may be some years, if ever, before we start saying to Bing where we now say to Google. Nevertheless, the disruptive force of ChatGPT should not be doubted. My fellow Austrian, the economist Joseph Schumpeter, talked about how the world makes progress through creative destruction. It may be that we are reaching a Schumpeterian moment with ChatGPT. Certainly, CEOs and their CPOs should take note. In my view, ChatGPT will transform the business of procurement. In my latest book, Profit from the Source, published by Harvard Business Review Press, I emphasize the transformative impact of digital procurement and, in particular, artificial intelligence. At its core, procurement is an outward-facing function that's all about crafting messages to suppliers. The only other business function that does this as much as procurement is the other outward-facing function, marketing and sales. For this reason, the impact of generative AI on procurement will be significant. Let me explain. One of the things I talk about in my book is the bionic company. These are companies that will dominate the future by blending the power of technology with the power of uniquely human qualities such as ingenuity, creativity, and judgment. I talk about them in a book about procurement because the procurement function will be a critical bionic function. It will be in the vanguard of the digital transformation, combining digital tools and human skills when managing the corporate relationship with suppliers. For most companies, the overwhelming majority of suppliers, maybe 95% of suppliers, have almost no strategic value or potential. In other words, there are only about 5% of suppliers, the industry standard suppliers, that companies need to stay close to. And of these, only a handful will really make a difference. Just think about the implications for a moment. A lot of people believe that supplier relationship management, or SRM is about partnering with suppliers. But if you reflect on what I just said, it is actually quite the opposite. SRM is not about partnering with suppliers, it is about separating the strategically important suppliers from the rest and focusing on them. And this is where digital procurement, including generative AI, will play a critical role. In the future, companies will become totally transactional and mostly digitally automated with the majority of suppliers. At the same time, they will get really close to and personal with those few suppliers that really matter. Let's take a closer look at this digital procurement approach. In this chart, you can see that the suppliers on the left are distributed across a bell curve. The outperformers are in the harvest category, the underperformers are in the mitigate category, and the majority of suppliers are in the improve category. Now imagine a straightforward system that measures the performance of suppliers, communicates the performance measurement regularly, and comes with consequences for suppliers. Well, in fact, some tech companies are already doing this for their most important suppliers in their quarterly business reviews or QBRs. But with ChatGPT, it is easy to see how this system could be easily adapted to manage the communication with the bulk of suppliers, the 95% in the left column. All that would be required is a chatbot that communicates the performance rating to the supplier and adjusts their share of business. Then, if a supplier's performance improves, the chatbot can automatically give them more business. But if the performance worsens, the chatbot can give them less business. This would not only save time and effort for procurement professionals, it would also ensure that suppliers receive regular feedback on their performance. In addition, it would ensure that suppliers had a clear understanding of the consequences of their performance. And ultimately, this should lead to improved supplier relationships. So to sum it up, companies can expect to enhance the supplier communication and further automate routine interactions with low strategic potential suppliers if they integrate ChatGPT into a comprehensive digital procurement approach. This will allow procurement professionals to focus on building closer relationships with strategically important suppliers, the ones that really matter. And this in turn should lead to better results and increased competitiveness. There's no question that ChatGPT is, on its own, an impressive piece of technology. But for companies, it will only be truly transformative when it is fully embedded in the procurement function. As we wrap up our discussion on ChatGPT and SRM, it's worth noting that procurement is a constantly evolving field, and there are many other topics we could explore in future videos. For example, many category managers and buyers struggle with identifying the right method for a specific category, even when applying the purchasing chessboard. Should they use should-cost modeling, or e-auctions, or cost regression analysis, or all of them together? This is where ChatGPT can come in, aiding making these decisions. Value can come in many forms, not just between a company and its suppliers during negotiations or sourcing. And with the increasing importance of resilience in supply chains, generative AI can help track lead times, communicate with suppliers, and respond to disruptive events. So there you have it. Just a few examples of the many interesting and important topics we could explore in future videos. Be sure to let us know in the comments which topics you are most interested in, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!